What's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE, joined here by the normal cast of Misfits. We got Big Z.
Hey.
We got our resident PhD, Dr. Sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The Choke Show himself, Drazcor.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And the Ewokiest of Ewoks.
Hello, Keyforge community. Glad to be here. Super excited. Bringing some energy, right, guys? We got this.
Bring the noise. Bring the
positive
noise.
and negative energy, so I can guarantee our cast has energy.
There you go. We got energy.
Are you just naming the two types of energy? When you said there's positive and negative, I'm like, I don't really know where we land and all that, but okay. But we got news.
Wait, you don't know where we land?
Oh, I know exactly where we land. I was just wondering where
energy. I didn't comment on which kind.
I was just wondering where the positive came from, but I mean, we kind of know. You know, but we have news today. OP news, right, Sheep?
No.
No. Oh. Man, really killing me.
if you look around.
Pete, weren't you super confident last week by this time this week we were going to have OP news? You said something like that.
I don't think he did.
I am stupidly optimistic. And once again, proven wrong.
Yeah, this is where we need that check the tape moment, because I remember, I remember it, because I was like, really?
How can there not be freaking news? So there are a couple of OP things going on right now. If you look around the verse here, stores did get emails from Ghost Galaxy today asking some questions about their store championships and dates. So there was some communication going on. And also, if you look around, I know it's linked in the Game Found chat and a few other places, there is actually a /Vault Tour Roseville link or web page that you can see. There's nothing useful there. And I'm pretty sure that the times that it even say are just about the times that the venue is open, has nothing to do with the times the events are running. So if you do find that, don't put too much value in what you see there. And it's basically just the dates we already know. There's nothing there. But there is a web page that goes along with Vault Tour Roseville.
Yay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not very exciting.
I still don't know when to book our flights.
Nope.
Right. Yeah.
For what?
We don't know where to book. We don't know when to book. We don't know what's going on, what day. I don't know.
We do know the day. We know the day.
I don't know the events, but if you want to play in everything, be there by 1:00 on Friday.
We know. Do we know what's running on what days?
Are you sure 1:00 on Friday?
Yeah, do we know that?
The page you just alluded to?
I just told you not to trust that. Trust in the sheet. Be there by 1 and you will be okay.
I mean, I trust you, PG, but I'm still not sure I'm trusting in the sheet that way.
Trust in the sheet.
I mean, the game center opens at 10, so you can definitely be there at 10. Drink some coffee, play some Keyforge.
I thought you were going to say drink some beer. I was like, you know what? I'm in.
You could do that too.
So, okay. Anyways, I had a thing to say, and now I don't remember what I was going to say. This is great radio. Yeah.
Please pause while Wookiee tries to recall his old man syndrome.
But while he's doing that, on the Minnesota side, I was originally not going to go to this.
Uh-oh.
Then Sid reaches out to me saying that she's throwing this big party, and I was like, well, that's interesting. So
it's the Keyforge mixer.
Whoa. Are we supposed to say this yet?
I have no clue.
Oh, I have no idea.
All right,
probably not.
No one told me
out of the
anything about not saying anything.
100%, absolutely not. But here we are.
Nothing's happening, and you're not invited.
Fine.
But that Drazcor experience is really
going to at all.
This is a very large, community-driven Drazcor experience.
There you go.
Sure, yeah, the Drazcor experience. So I was like, okay, I hadn't really factored in maybe I could go to this just purely for the social thing. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll go. And then some other things happened that I learned about. And then I was like, And then they released their wonderful Game Found thing today, and I was like, So yeah, I am officially not going
Ooh.
to the Minnesota.
That's what I
Oh.
That's what I was gonna say. Do we know? We don't know what's happening on what days.
Well, because that was another thing. So in a scenario, because I'm officially not going now, but like I was really close on Sunday to saying yes. I was like, I even told Sid or some other people, I was like 60% yes. And I'm like somewhat of an impulsive buyer when it relates to Keyforge. Really, only just Keyforge because it makes me stupid sometimes. But like had they had an event posted up, and I knew exactly whether I needed to leave Thursday night or Friday morning, I had flights already pulled up. If I knew which one to fly out at, I probably would have purchased tickets already. But they didn't. So that gave me time to not do that and then learn other things that happened throughout the week and officially choose not to go. So thanks for saving me money, GG, by not posting your events.
Yeah, and we are now past the window that is optimal flight tickets, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's usually 3-ish months before.
But we still have 6 to 8 weeks, right?
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks,
Oh,
and
6
then
to 8 weeks until Jeremy pokes his head back out and says no OP.
Does Jeremy still? Does Jeremy work there?
I don't think
that link for Vault Tour Roseville was published by Jeremy.
Oh no! I know he.
Did we check LinkedIn?
And paid by the company. My question was, does he work there?
Remotely.
I mean, somebody's gotta get Janet her tea.
I mean, I know tons of people throughout my careers and various.
We all know Janet's drinking straight Irish
get
coffee.
Paid to be employed that also do not work. So, like,
I used to live that life, and it was lovely.
Now, to be fair, I don't want to say that because we don't know what Jeremy is tasked with on a daily basis.
This is true.
So, like, to be like, dude doesn't work, like, that's not fair. You're not.
We like to be buttholes.
That's why I asked it in a question form. I don't know. I mean, if I was seeing marketing stuff, we would. Obviously know he was doing that.
You come in, you get your coffee ready, right? You get in at 9, you get your coffee ready, right?
Yep.
You know, you got to drink that coffee. So, I mean, now it's 11, so you got about an hour.
That makes you go pee. So.
Right. Well, you know, you got about an hour, so you know, but it's lunchtime at noon, so then you go get it's hour lunch, right? And then you come back and you hit the old the head, right? And that's gonna take 30 minutes or 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what you got going on.
Is that how long it takes you, Wookie?
Some days, you never know.
That sounds like a problem.
Well,
gotta work on that hygiene.
Hold on. So when I say 30 minutes to an hour, that's not all. There's some phone. You gotta see what's going on.
You gotta do your hair, right?
You gotta see what's going on TikTok, right? You gotta maybe watch a YouTube video or two. Like I don't think he has any kids, but sometimes you just got to enjoy the quiet. Like that's a thing that exists too. So. And then, you go, you got to talk about things. So you got a meeting from 2 to 3. That definitely could have been an email. Now you get another hour of work done. Let's be honest, from 4 to 5, we ain't doing much.
Maybe you should put more effort into the meetings to make them valuable.
Every meeting I've ever been in could have definitely been an email. I don't know. I've never had a face-to-face meeting.
What's the common factor in all of these meetings?
I'm not in charge of them.
You could look at it that way, but you were at all of them.
I was at all of them. You are correct. I mean, but I wasn't in charge, nor did I speak in any of them. So, just saying.
You are reinforcing my point.
I wasn't asked to speak. I have no contribution here. I'm just being told what to do.
We do all believe you had no contribution. All right,
let's move forward because we're getting stuck. So, the game found has been announced that Ember Skies will again be a game found. I think we'll save the old shoulda, coulda, woulda, yada, yada, yada about the game found for another day. So we're going to go into Z's segment.
On the game found, though, in the meantime, if you want to chuckle, go into it and read some of the comments. It's quite amusing. All right. So, we know that there's a game found. We predicted 6 months ago that it would be... Well, actually, we predicted about 2 months ago that we expected to see it around now. and that it would launch in April. So at least our prediction there was right. Okay, so here's our segment before we get into finishing Geistoid. It is, as of right now, this moment in time, with where we're at with OP and Grim Reminders and all that, are you going to back Amber Skies? So here's the rules for our segment.
Give the
today.
rules.
You have to answer with either yes or no, because you're talking about right now. If you had to like dish out X amount of money, but you can add one more word to the yes or no. You can either put a word in front of yes or behind yes, or in front of no or behind no. But it can only be a total of 2 words, and we're gonna go down the list. It's in the order of what I see on the screen, and I'll answer last. Someone can ask me. So here we go. Blank, blank. The Wookiee.
No.
Supposed to be 2 words, Wookiee. You're
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Jehar.
Slightly yes.
Raskor.
Abstain.
You can't abstain, Dras.
That's 2 words. Hold on. That's 2 words, though. I'm counting as word. I'm counting as words.
Everything you know right now under your limited scope and whatever mood you happen to be in. Blank, blank.
I voted on Ewok not following the rules, not you.
Yeah,
I did
me too.
Bot to balk.
It really, really required me to not put up. But if it is with all the knowledge that I know, then I have to go, unfortunately, no.
Oh, didn't he just say yes?
Yes,
You said
that's
slightly yes.
Yes, and that is exactly where it is. It's a slightly yes,
Slightly
but
yes.
with all the information that I know, because realistically, it's a slightly yes that I will back. But with all the information,
we weren't doing
all the
commentary on our
information
answers today.
No,
Dras,
I'm not giving commentary with
this
all
is
I know.
commentary because you're commenting.
No.
Come on, Dras. We believe in you.
I gave you as much time as I could, Dras. Come on, man.
I mean, I feel like I can't believe I'm saying this, but no.
Okay.
We'll go with the but no.
I'll take but no. Sheep.
No thanks.
All right.
And Z?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
No commentary. Now we go to Geistoid.
All right, Geistoid. Here we go.
Again, Sheep, what was that OP news? Okay, on to Geistoid.
On to Geistoid. Phantasmal Visit. Pip of Ember every time you play it. If that's on your bingo board, make sure you stamp that off. Play. Stun and exhaust an enemy, or stun and exhaust a creature. If you are haunted, archive Phantasmal Visit. Remember the rules of the game? I guess I didn't do this last time. The rules of the game are... What is it, Z? It's 0 through 5, right?
0 through 6.
0 through 6.
Scoring system.
So the game is, if you're here playing along in the chat, we are trying to guess what Z ranked them.
Without looking at the cards.
And without looking at, well, you get to look at the cards, but you don't get to look at the sheet.
Yep. And occasionally they convince me to change the number while I'm here.
I was going to say, and sometimes we'll make arguments to change numbers for cards that aren't so great. Good luck on Geistoid, but, you know.
Okay, I got my numbers on this.
All right, I got my number. You want to start, Sheep?
This is, it's either a 3, 4, 5. We're on Phantasmal Visit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's either a 3, 4, 5 or a 4, 5, 6. Gets better as you have more.
I thought it was a 3, 4. I thought it was a 3 base.
No.
I don't think it's quite a 4.
I think it's a 4. Easy.
Recurring, so
it's a recurring Pip
if you're
event.
haunted.
It's Portal that is going to come back if you're haunted versus going ahead and having the Tide.
Which is way easier.
Which is way easier, and it has the play effect of stun and exhaust a creature. Now, the bummer is if your opponent has nothing on their side, you do have to stun and exhaust a creature on your side if you have it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opposite, but
It is not a May ability.
It is not a May, but
yeah, I'm going to say 3, but I definitely agree that if you've got a bunch of them, it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hit it on. Oh.
I was saying, did we forget anybody?
No. Oh, well, you got to say ahoy. Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
We miss you, Southerly, but he's not here
really
today,
good.
so that's ahoy. Okay, keep going.
Y'all hit it right on the nose. It is a 3. If you have more of them, it gets better to the point where if you have 3 or 4, like if you get 4, all 4 of them become a 6. We have not seen any decks like that, but it's real good.
Is it possible to get 4 uncommons in a house?
It used to be.
Okay.
I don't know if I've seen 4 uncommons since the new algorithm came out. But it used to be possible.
All right. Moving on to Plow Sword. It is an artifact. Action. Put a creature in a discard pile on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, deal 3 damage to a creature.
This is a weird one because it's an interesting utility, but it's not fast, doesn't have a pip on it. I mean, 3 damage is nice. Selecting a card to put on your bottom of your deck or on the bottom of your owner's deck or of your opponent's deck can be nice. But I don't think this is better than a 3. I think it's too slow to be better than a 3. I could see some people liking this less even though.
I got it at a 2. It's fine. It's just slow.
I mean, like it is slow, but maybe you have in some dream. Well, it's not a dream. It's not even the good version of this game, but you have 4 of those visits and one of these, and then you get to like keep stacking their deck up with different house creatures constantly and gain all your amber, and they never can catch up.
Why is there stuff playing in a garage? Like you can
Thank you for convincing me, Sheep, that this is definitely a 2.
Yes.
If we have to go ahead and go through all that, it's
maybe it is a 2. Yeah.
I like
it is,
2.
It is slow.
Yeah, I have it right at a 2. It is pretty slow. There is a use case for it. I think it's probably in the higher end of 2, but I definitely have it at a solid 2.
There's going to be a few decks where it comes in real handy. But
if you have like Dark Discovery in your deck, then it's great.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, or you want to save your or save your spooky charge, right? Like putting certain cards at the bottom of your deck could be
Well, it's got to be
very
a creature
good.
though.
I really only see Dark Discovery.
Oh, you're right.
Making this
You're
good.
absolutely right. All right, I'm good with 2 then.
It's really just like, do you have Dark Discovery time?
Yeah, I was like, that's really the only use I see for it.
There's also a card that it purges the bottom of somebody's deck. So like again, that's still not worth it to.
Isn't that
stress
also
for.
an artifact? No, that
It's
is
some other shitty card. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go to Poltergeistoids. Action: play, purge a card from your discard or from a discard pile. If you do, play a creature or artifact from your purge zone as if it were in your hand. Attach Poltergeistoids to it as an upgrade with the text, "This card belongs to House Geistoid." Is this the one that you're saying falls off, yada yada?
Yes.
Yeah, that's and Sheep just left. Awesome.
So what Sheep was saying about this card is currently we expect there to be some kind of rule clarification or rata or just straight up change of rules. Upgrades do not stay on artifacts. So if you do choose to grab one of your purge artifacts, put it back into play, that will all happen.
But the
upgrade will fall off, and then the artifact would no longer be Geistoid as well, because in this case, it is the upgrade itself that is making the card Geistoid.
Yep.
So it's not going to change the house of the card if it's an artifact.
I just got to think this
now.
golden rules itself, but that's me. The card's literally telling you attach it, and it has the option to attach it to a artifact.
Like I said,
we know their intention.
To be some kind of clarification or rata or FAQ for it. They've done things that don't quite follow the norm in the rules before, so I expect to see something like that.
It'll get fixed in the rule book. It is currently broken, although they do, since we all actually just play TCO rules and not Ghost Galaxy rules.
TCO does attach it.
Does attach it. So there you go.
As I would
Yeah.
assume it would when they clarify the rules.
Well, I mean, pretty much, I think most people are going to play it as it looks like on this card.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're at a local, most people play crop circles as you would think it works as well.
Right.
So who knows? So that's that. Oh yeah, you'll need to score this card. We just talked about the rules.
So I mean, purging a card from discard pile, that can be nice, I guess. Now you have to have some other purge means.
What
if
do you mean nice?
don't
That's
purge your own.
awesome.
What? Like,
It can be.
the card from Coda that did it was not awesome. It was just fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
no matter what, it's basically Exhume.
Right.
Without a pip.
I was gonna say it's Exhume
Yeah.
without a pip.
What?
But purge a card too? Sheep, how well is you gonna do really good without key abduction?
Yeah, I already won the game.
Oh.
What's the
And pulling
matter?
back a artifact is a nice option
Mm-hmm.
because they destroy an artifact, right? So that's nice. So,
Well, but it has to be from
No,
the purge.
this card
zone.
is good.
So, like, it's still at least Exhume though, because you can choose your own.
You can
discarded
choose. You
card.
can choose your
To
own
purge
in order
yourself.
to go ahead
Yeah.
and purge and play it. Yes, I agree with that.
It's even better if you're facing if your opponent
Yes.
has Infernus, then you can actually purge one of theirs and recover one of your Infernus targets.
Yes.
that's true.
But
This gotta be a
4?
5.
Where's
Well,
this?
no
What do you get,
Amber
5
Pip,
maybe?
go 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically Exhume's a 5. This is a 4.
Yep.
The pip is the difference.
I think
All
that's
right.
a good call.
Precious Fragment.
Come on.
Just
Try again. This is not precious.
It's precious.
Precious.
It's precious.
It's definitely
It-
not the word.
yeah, it's all right. So it is precocious. Now
No,
I
it's
want to
precious.
Very much, Dress.
So I want to mention something, right? So you know
Sending you all
how
back to elementary school.
the Wookiee keeps talking about casual loop instead of causal
Casual
loop.
loop.
So I was totally at work the other day. And we were there's a slide, and we're talking about the slide, and I point to a line on the slide, and I read it, and it says causal, and I say casual out loud in the meeting. People are like, "Oh, that says causal." I was like, "Damn it, Wookiee!"
I'm so
So you
good.
blamed Wookiee in your meeting.
That part was in my head. But
Okay.
I would blame me too. Are you kidding me?
that is awesome.
Now this guy can't speak. He can't say English words, and he's
Alright.
blaming some random Wookiee player.
He's blaming figurative characters from Star Wars. Weird. All right. Precocious Fragment. Everybody wants to ruin my fun. 3 power Spectre robot. After Reap, if you are haunted, gain. Half of my fun with some of these things is how many people can I also get to call the card incorrectly.
Mhm.
Oh
But
my
anyways, after how many people that play casual loop, even though
A
it is
lot.
console,
I
they're
think
casual loop, and I'm like, yes.
I think this is your crowning achievement, Wookiee.
I'm
It's an
in their
achievement. I
head
wouldn't say
rent
crowning.
free. After Reap, if you are haunted, gain 1. Otherwise, discard the top card of your deck. I really want to give this a 3, but I think it's probably a 2, just because of how fragile it is.
And it linked to something bad, too.
Yeah.
I don't
it's
remember
linked
what
to
it's
something.
linked to. It is linked to something.
I mean, it is after Reap, most likely gain, maybe discard, which is fine in this set. So whatever that makes it like a 2.276.
Oh, I like that.
Precise.
Let's see. Dress?
This one's border between 2 and 3. I'm gonna say, let's see. Well, it dies to plow sword.
Mm-hmm. It
I'm
dies
gonna
to
get
most
2.
things. It's a 3, so it dies to almost everything.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't kill Brio, although
No.
2 of them will.
It dies to Shredder.
Yeah.
All right,
2.
just a quick look on DOK. Precocious Fragments, if I'm not wrong, it would be Kespera, which is the rare, because it seems to be in all the decks that
It is.
have.
Okay. So you're
So
just
that's where it
making
came from.
bonkers
And
Ember.
which one is Caspera?
The-
Caspera, the X power dude.
Yeah, it's the X power Spectre robot.
So
X is the combined
these are,
total.
These
of
are
Amber
zeros or
between each.
one? Well, except Z doesn't actually, right? It doesn't take into account the linked card for valuing them. Is how yours works.
Yeah, so we already gave Caspera 2 scores. One was the actual card if it does pull into your deck, and one was the set score just for Caspera existing in the house. Caspera, the set with these things was a 0, but Caspera itself had like a 3 or 2 or something.
So these can live in the 2 land.
Yeah. I'm comfortable in 2 land. Ewok?
I mean, I'm comfortable in 2 land. I actually think that with this set being haunted, it's not the worst thing to discard the top card of your deck. So
Yeah, no,
I
that's good.
place it at a 2 here.
It's like similar to a Do Fairy in some ways, right? One more power, not elusive, gets a discard, not an Ember. I don't know. So that's probably a 2.
Get an extra 1 if you're haunted.
Yeah.
Dos.
Z?
This is a 1.
Yeah, I kind of thought that'd be
because
there
they're
too.
1 linked to another card that is not great, and 2, you can get like 3, 4, 5 of these things. And this is literally alone the worst common you could get in this house. So, in relation to every other 16 commons, every time this thing gets pulled with the dude it's associated with, it's taking what should have been a great Geistoid pod, because most of them are great, and literally making them worse in every way. The opportunity cost of this card existing costs you value every single time, because it is worse than all 16 commons.
Mm.
I'm
But if it
okay
was
with
an
it being-
Equidon, it would be better. Is what
Yeah.
you're getting at?
Like, hell, if this was an AOA, this might be one of the best creatures you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't stun other creatures.
I'm
I
okay
mean,
with it being a 1.72. That's fine. Protective Playmate, 3 power Spectre.
Hold on. You got to appreciate this. There's one deck with 5 of them in it.
Yeah,
Ooh,
no,
gosh.
like that's what I'm talking about. Like, that pod is now way worse than any basically other Geistoid pod you can get.
It does actually have the double rare for Caspara too, so it was
Yes.
interesting.
Just
Double
go away.
suckitude.
Yeah.
Somebody
No,
needs to cut that deck up.
I will say on the other side, once we were talking about Phantasm Visit, there are 5 of them with basically 3, so we haven't seen a single 4 yet.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about a bad card.
Yep. I'm trying
Next,
to
let's
move to
do it.
Protective Playmate, which is a 3 power Spectre. Taunt. While you are haunted, Protective Playmate gains +6 power. Otherwise, Protective Playmate gains elusive.
There are too many words on this card, and I fought into it thinking I'm killing it, and then I'm like, oh wait, there's this otherwise statement. Dang it!
We know you can't read.
No, I can't keep my attention span that long for what this does.
There's too much text. Have you read Poltergeistoid?
Well, but that's
There's-
doing something cool. This is,
Have you?
I mean,
This literally has half the text, and you're like, nah, I can't be
9
bothered to
power
read it.
taunt's kind of neat, but that is a very suggestive fist to me.
It sure is. So 6 on the art scale.
Why
I don't know about that.
Does this link
I like
with
the art.
anything?
No, it's just a
Yeah.
rare. Does it link with something?
I think they do. I think you can get one alone, but I think it also comes with something else. Mischievous
Oh no, I
is
have.
my guess.
I think I have a Protective Playmate deck that does not have Mischievous in it.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's like Niffle Ape, Niffle Queen. I think you can get them, like just one of him. But I think if Mischievous is pulled, you get a bunch of them. Is what I believe the relationship here is. I'm trying to find a Mischievous search.
I still don't like him,
Okay.
so I'm putting him at a 1.
Well, no, 6 power taunt. Z loves taunt. That makes this guy a 3. Or
Well,
a
but it's
3
only
power, 9 power
sometimes.
He's a
taunt.
3 power. Well, okay,
He always has taunt.
he always
Elusive
has
taunt.
taunter or 9 power taunter are both actually pretty good.
I am confirmed what I'm saying. You can,
Yeah, mischievous.
if you get Mischievous, you get
A
at
Protective
least
Playmate.
2 of these.
Yeah, they're showing up
Sometimes
like
5.
4,
God damn it.
3, 4. Yeah. Oof.
Hey, at
Uh-huh.
least these reap on like tentaclids, which are also got suggested.
Yeah.
But I like the tentaclids.
This
Yeah?
is fine. It's I don't know.
So what?
It's
3 then?
3, yeah.
It's 3,
maybe a 2.
2, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, something
It's-
like that.
Do we get to vote if it's brought in with the other card?
I suppose because it can be on its own. And
I'm gonna
it can
give
get
this a 2.
mischievous. I mean, if
This
it's
is a
with,
2.
I don't think you really. I can't remember what we rated mischievous. It wasn't. I don't think it was great.
Because it's not.
Yeah.
Anyways,
She was a 2.
give us the numbers,
Yeah.
Z.
2.
It's 3, 3, 1, 0, 0.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, 3 power or taunters are generally
Yeah,
okay,
something.
but too many of them is too taunty.
I like taunt inset.
Too
There actually
taunty.
are a lot of things you want to taunt in this house, like Daimo Eldergas, Thought Catcher. Like these things are much better with taunters on the board.
Let's move into a card that hurts my soul. Persephone. 5 power Spectre Robot. Keys cost -2. Destroyed. If Shady's in your discard pile, return it to your hand.
Why does this hurt your soul?
Because I hate minus. I
Key
understand.
cost stuff.
I
yeah.
hate stuff that is two-sided because this also makes. I understand. Well, no, because you're not going to be able to be the first. I guess you can play it.
Well,
to
you'd
an
only play it
advantage,
if your
so
opponent's
I
not
only
going to
play
forge.
it if my opponent's not going to forge, and I'm going to. Like, it's too edge case. It
Yeah.
I agree
Some
with that.
junk like this was prime place for scrap effects. So when you couldn't play it because it made them forge for less, you could at least do something with the damn card. Instead, it's bad. Like it should have said scrap, dig up your shadies or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so. Shady's does interact with Persephone when it's in your discard pile. Now that's, I mean, it's linked, right? So that's a challenge, but at least
I don't like
you could-
Shady's either. So
Yeah,
It's better.
shadies. We should probably cover shadies because they're
All right.
all right. So we're gonna
Shady's
go
is-
over Oh, go ahead, Walkbot.
I'll go ahead and say Shady's Geistoid, 5 power Spectre Robot creature action. Play a creature from your discard pile. If that creature is Persephone, destroy Shady's.
There. Now we don't got to go over Shady's. So Persephone, I am giving a 1, 2, and minus. I don't. Can you get more than 1? Probably not.
I mean, Shady's is a rare, so probably, but it's
I don't
probably
know.
not. very likely.
I don't like Persephone. I'm giving it a 1. I will give Shady's also a 1.
Shadies is action play a creature from your discard pile. That's not
that's-
terrible.
That's
and he's
good.
5 power. He's 3, and Persephone is
Okay, so Shady's
Probably
what? Shady's
a 1 or 2.
Persephone 1.
okay.
Shady's play creature. I get that. Well, it's slow.
It's
I
not a
might give it a
creature.
3.
It's slow.
It's a 5
Um,
power though. It's gonna stick.
yeah.
At least
I give it a 3, and then
Great, so I-
Persephone.
Don't get to reap with it because it's on an action effect that I guess is discard pile recursion.
Yeah, I mean, it's play
But,
your
like,
best
why
creature from
would
any
I-
house.
Great. So why do I want a Shady's when I can have a Poltergeistoid and have more utility?
Because that's not how Keyforge worked.
Okay.
I
Yep.
mean, it's not as good as Poltergeistoids.
Agreed.
Shady's 3, Persephone might just be a 1.
I think for a 3, it's got to at least kill Bryozark, right? Have we learned that rule yet? Or no?
What is your obsession with Bryozark?
I mean, if it
It's
has a
not
damage
what do
pip
you
on it.
mean my obsession with Bryozark? You mean Z's
You say
obsession with Bryozark?
Bryozark 5 to 6 times an episode
That's
minimum
right,
these days.
Because when we went through the entire list of Brobnar, they all got 3s because it's like 8 power kills Bryozark. And it's like, but it sucks. Yeah, but it kills Bryozark, so it gets a 3.
Can we create bingo cards for
wait,
our community?
wait,
like they can go out and have
what?
Wasn't-
8 power creature in Brobnar sucks?
I don't remember that.
Name one.
I completely made that whole thing
I
up,
know.
but there were like
Because you're
things where I'm
full of
like,
shit right
this does
now.
not feel like this does not feel like
No,
a
no, 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 no.
3,
There
and it
is.
was like,
I gone to terrible is terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Not
have
as-
one. The
There
8
you
power
go.
is bad argument.
What about the
Yes.
monk Morgwick or whatever the hell his name is?
I like that
Okay,
one.
Flash 2.
Yeah.
He's
Splash
fine.
is-
8 Splash 2, Scrap Deal 2. Like, what?
Put us out of our misery so we can go on.
So,
three
can we?
for
Go ahead.
Shady's, 1
Go
for
ahead.
Purse.
All right, should we go to Reaver? Because
Yeah, we
this is
should.
another
Do it.
card that's going to get a little higher score because of its enhancements. So 4 power Spectre Vehicle, enhanced with a capture and 2 discard. After remove 1 ember from a friendly creature to your pool. If you do, discard a card. Oh, actually, kind of like that.
This is
So-
a great card.
Yeah, I mean it's got a capture and 2 discard, right? So it's got a little ember control, it's got some efficiency, and it gives you an ability when
It's also an after reap ability, so you're gaining an ember
Yeah.
plus moving
Yeah.
an
Right,
ember
and then
plus also
kind of
discarding
stealing
a card.
right?
So it's got a
Plus efficiency,
built-in
yeah.
discard
Yeah.
pip that you get to use every time he reaps. I don't know. 4?
So if
3?
if Shady's is a 3, then this guy gets to be at least a 4.
At least a 4.
Maybe it's a 5 because of the double discard pips, and type pips are the way.
They
Right.
really are. I hated them to begin with. Now I'm like, I love this.
Yes, I need more of them.
I love
I-
playing 2 houses.
I currently have them at a 4. I could see the 5, but like people are constantly like whining about like the power creep, and they're talking about a lot of these big cards. But the reason why the set really probably is pushed a little bit is stuff like this. Does anyone remember the 2 cards in previous sets that did half of this reap effect?
Yes.
Do you know the names?
No.
So some
There was one.
Keyforge points.
There was
Some
one. In,
dinosaur dude.
Yeah, it was a
No.
Saurian.
no, there
It's a
was one.
Shadows creature.
There's one in Coda. It's a Shadows Elf. It's like a 2 power elusive, and you were able to take an ember off of your creature and move it to your
It's
pool.
Selwyn the Fence.
There it is.
Yeah.
the fence,
Reap,
yeah.
move an amber to your pool, and it wasn't elusive, and it could be any creature.
Oh, it wasn't elusive?
Yeah,
No,
it doesn't have the
very-
discard
And then
ability.
there was a Sanctum one. Does anyone remember that one?
Oh yeah, Mother whatever her
Mother
name is.
Northall.
Yeah, like a rare.
No, I don't.
Also, 3 power, not elusive. Both of those were printed at rare, at 3 power, with no defensive mechanisms.
And
This
sets
one
that
is
didn't capture much too.
yeah. Yeah. Shadows didn't really capture anything, but at least the Sanctum did, and where Mother was. But still, those are rare. You never saw it, and Sanctum sucked. Here, you have the house that captures.
That's right,
second-
Joker.
Yeah. he doesn't listen. Here you have this house captures the second most amber in this set. It's got enhanced capture, discard. It's 1 more power, and then after you move an amber to your pool, you get to discard a card from your hand. It's
Yeah.
like
Okay,
when people talk about the set being pushed because of like certain big things, the real reason, because like other sets have great cards too, it's just they don't
Common.
have like this set doesn't have like like this house specifically. When I can point to this like precious thing and say it's literally the worst card that you could get in the slot, it's stuff like this because your other commons are Reaver. This is the common that was taking up like precocious fragment.
Yeah.
Instead, it could just be a Reaver. I'd rather this common.
Yeah, I'd take
Or
5
any other
Reavers.
common.
so I was
10
thinking of
discard pips. I'm in.
I was thinking of Consul Primus, which is 3 power dinosaur
Yeah.
politician with an enhance of capture 1, and then it says move 1 from a creature to another creature, but
Yeah,
that is not even to your own pool. So
Exactly. Like
it's
this is
slower.
so good. And this is at common, not rare. So like that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Council was common too with the enhance, but I mean
Yeah.
you can see that
Count-
difference.
Don't love the art.
Oh,
I like the art.
That one.
The art
kinda
is
like
it just
that.
it's
I
memorable.
don't know why there's a Martian driving it, but I do like the art.
It makes me
Yeah.
think of some kludge orc vehicle from Warhammer 40k Silly Side.
Oh yeah.
I would say the
It's like a
art
battle
is
wagon.
probably be like The art could be because the Martian is driving the Geistoid, and these are two of the most powerful house combinations in the set. But that would be giving way too much credit to whoever designed this.
Next.
We never got a score.
Yeah, he said it was a 4.
Oh, it was a 4? We did say it was a 4?
4 that does increase in scale. So it's 4, 5, 5, 6, 6.
Nice.
If you
Makes
happen to get
sense.
5 of these things, and you win the Geistoid lottery.
Yeah, and you just discard a whole house. You don't even got to
There
worry.
are no 5
10 pips,
Reaver
5
decks.
capture. Jeez.
Yeah.
And 10 discard. Yeah, you just don't play a whole house. Let's go to replicative growth. Wow, that was really tough for me to say. Pip of Ember, every time you play it, play for the remainder of the term. Each friendly creature gains after reap. Move 1 ember from this creature to your pool.
Okay. This house has decent capture. Comes with an Amber Pip. Puts it at
4.
3.
Well, I think so.
It may do nothing because if your creatures aren't ready, and it also doesn't let you reap out of house. So,
yeah, I think in the right deck, this card is amazing, but often it's just a 3.
Is it a rare?
Might just be. It might even just be a 2 because, man, often this thing's going to do nothing more than just be an Amber Pip.
Yeah, but
still a good
it's got
bit
upside.
Of capture. I don't know.
You might not even have a good capture house where you only capture 2 Amber in the whole damn house, anyways. This is one of those cards that could be good
if you get it in the right if you get it in the right aspect. Sure,
it's better than the awful Logos card that's Reap Steel one. Or your reaps become steel.
Your reaps, reaps. You steal 1 for each one.
Or even there's the Brobnar, that thing that when they fight, they get a cool effect. This is the same thing. You have to have the right creatures with the right situation for it to pay off, and then it can pay off pretty good. But often, it's just an Amber Pip, which is why I'm saying it's like a 2 to 3 at best.
Yeah, I do have a deck that's got a pod that wants to make this work. Now I don't really remember. I know I've played this deck. I should go back and try to do the thing. It's got double Hollow's Eve. It's got the Replicative Growth. It's got double Dark Lamp. It's got Demo Eldergast. And then it's got a Reaver. So it's got a whole bunch of reasons and a capture pip in house. So it's got a bunch of reasons to do the thing, but it does seem. It seems like a mini game. Like, I'm just going to keep playing this until I do a big one and then not play this deck again.
Ewok.
Yep. It's a card.
Fair enough.
It's a 2.
I actually had this at a 4 at one point. I have seen this attempted, and y'all kind of hinted on why it doesn't work quite often. I'm going to move it down to a 2. I think there's a lot of other stuff going on in the house that does this kind of thing better. We already talked about a strong feeling, how great it does. It removes the Amber when this happens. Reaver at common you see more of than this. It removes the Amber as it does its thing. I'm putting it at a 2. I think the actual window where this is really, really good is pretty damn small. It's like the window where Dimension Door is good. Which is not
Dimension
not
Door. That's the one.
Yep, that's my Logos card. Yeah.
I was like, I know exactly which one he's talking about, but I can't put my finger on it.
Okay.
All right, you just got to make up the wrong name for it. That sounds very similar.
They're all casual loops.
Yeah,
every one of them. Return to Rubble. Action. Play. Shuffle the top 10 cards of your discard pile into your deck. If you do, destroy each creature.
I mean, this is another effectively 0 cost. It's 0 cost board wipe, but you also have to have 10 cards in your discard. So,
yeah, it's an interesting conditional, right?
And if you really need to be haunted, like you put your 10 cards in, and it's hard to get back to haunted.
But it is a board clear.
It is a board clear. This, I mean, when I had this in a deck, it was fine, and then it was also at one point no good because I couldn't get to 10 cards in my discard. So then it's just a, and then here's the other thing is you can play it and just shuffle the top 4 cards and then just do nothing, right? Like, you know, if you only have 4 cards in your discard, so it actually has a weird like it that can be good. Like if you played 3 creatures and a couple actions out of Geistoids, and then the next turn, or then you play this and you put those back on top and you get to redraw your actions. It kind of has a weird.
It's also a weird thing of decks that, and I have one like this. It's really easy for me to get haunted, but it takes like a turn. So when I want to remain haunted, I'm able to do this quite easily. If that makes sense? I don't have one in my deck, but like that one deck I have that just like it's really super easy for me to get haunted.
And the one that just auto haunts you because you have that artifact?
No, it's got a lot of discard pips, so getting haunted is not really a problem.
So like, how do we feel about a board wipe that may not be ready to wipe when you need it to? That makes it seem pretty iffy to me, actually.
It is. I think Draz hit it on the head with it's super conditional, and the condition doesn't always pay off.
So like 75% of the time, this is live. And you can play your cards that want to do stuff when they're haunted, unless it's creature, I guess. But in theory, if it's play effects, you can play your haunted cards before this, your haunted effects. It's a weird, it's a weird cost, right? Like, I'm torn on this. I haven't really seen much of this yet. It's either a 3 or a 4.
Ooh, that high?
Yeah, for board clear. Yeah,
I was putting it at a 2 or a 3, just because there are decks that I've had that like they have this in it, and the deck struggles to get haunted. So a lot of the times I'm just shuffling cards back into my deck to still struggle to get haunted, or I just discard it.
I'm there. I feel like it's a 2 or a 3 just because it's not that special of a card and it's situational, but I don't remember where the other board wipes were.
Winds of Death is very good.
Wow,
that is doing a different thing.
It is, but I mean, effectively for the turn. Huh? No? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
I got it at a 3.
3. Z, what do we got?
I have it at a 3.
Yeah, okay. Seems fair.
It goes down immediately to a 1.
Oh, when you have multiples.
If you have multiples.
Makes sense.
The art is fine. It just feels so off compared to the colors that are on most of the other cards we're looking at.
I can see that.
Right? This is just like this
Return to
real
Rubble. You're going back to
brown
lifeless. I think it's thematic, but yes, it's not colorful.
Yeah, and just like all the other Roid art we're looking at is so vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not
a lot
bad
of
art, just
not a lot of
inconsistent with the other
purples
stuff.
and blues in it either, which a lot of the other Geistoids have a lot of purples, a lot of blues. This is just tan.
Especially this next one. I think this guy's holding the church key, right?
Yeah, I'm not really what is going on with Scoobu. 3 power Spectre Robot while Scoobu is in your discard pile. If you would draw a card during your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your deck and return Scoobu from your discard pile to your hand instead.
He's underwater.
Never play a deck with this on TCO. Just don't do it.
Does it not work?
Is it a nightmare?
Or you just always have to click.
Do you want to draw Scoobu? Do you want to draw Scoobu?
Well,
I concede.
Well, tell me, do I want to draw Scoobu?
No, I concede.
Is that? Oh, so this is every time I'm going to draw a card.
Every time you draw a card at the end of your turn, you will be asked, "Do you want to draw Scooby?"
So unless this thing gets enhanced, do you ever actually want to draw Scooby?
No, unless it's an.
Well,
I mean,
if it's a
enhanced,
Geistoid turn, yes.
What? But you are generally drawing at the end of your turn.
I mean, if it's a Geistoid turn and
You
you're
get
using
yourself
a draw
haunted.
pip, probably still no. This card is ass.
Yes, this card is poops.
Right.
So you're rating it
get
high
you
then.
haunted a little faster, but
So now it's a 1. I mean, if it's double pipped,
it
but-
could have pips, but on its own, as it sits, it's a
it's also a rare. Like Geistoid seems to have a lot of rares. Is it just me? It's
it
probably
does
just
feel
me.
like that.
It has 20, just like every other set.
Yeah, I just I just
I mean, they're all
Like I
new
said,
because it's a new house.
All
so
the
it's probably,
cards are grouped. I keep seeing all these same rares, and there's just so many more rares in this.
Geistoid
Scooby-Doo.
has more link than anything else, so technically it does have the most.
Don't
cards.
feed him with this. Come on.
it just feels that way. I didn't say it was fact. I didn't like
Man, we
slam
are
this
taking
down.
a long time to score bad cards.
Yeah, we sure are. 1.
All right, what's
One.
the score? 1.
2.
Sheep.
If I was a 1.
Okay. Z.
I played a deck with this on TCO, and now it's a 0. Like
Now
I
it's
think most Keyforge is played on TCO. No one should play this card.
Yeah,
Like,
it's stank.
horrible.
All right, let's go to the
Alright, that's
Singing
pretty funny.
Scythe. Upgrade. While you are haunted, you may return Singing Scythe from your discard pile to your hand. This creature gains after Reap. If you are haunted, purge a card from a discard pile.
I mean, again, right? If it's got a whole bunch of enhancements, that's good, but we're not rating that, right?
What Disney character is this?
Well, I always thought it was
Lumiere. I don't know.
the robot.
Yeah, that's the
Yes,
one.
100%.
Thank you.
Fair.
You guys are the princesses. I don't get it.
I know.
Uh,
Yeah,
I mean,
So,
if it's
after
pipped,
Reap,
it's
if you
real
are
good.
haunted,
If you're
Go ahead.
going into a Geistoid turn while you are haunted, you may. So it's a may ability. I don't gotta return Singing Scythe. So if I'm going into a Geistoid turn and with Geistoids on the board, why don't I want to purge some stuff from my opponent's deck?
Because
Yeah.
you want to thin out your deck for faster speed because you don't have
Purge a card from
Ecto
a
Charge.
discard pile.
Or you've already used your Ecto Charge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Did
and
you
it
say
works
you
both
don't
ways.
have Ecto Charge? What the hell are you doing?
Or
here?
you've already used your Ecto Charge.
Didn't you
Okay.
throw all
I
those
think
decks
it's from a
away that
statement.
don't have Ecto Charge? Aren't they already in the shredder bin?
They should be. This one I'm holding in my hand definitely should be in the shredder bin.
I like the Singing Scythe. I'll give him a 3. He might be a 2.
you.
it's
Two.
2.
No Amber Pip. Might even be a 1.
He doesn't come built in with one, but if you get one, I don't know. Maybe I'm living in Christmas land. I like it. I'm still gonna stick with 3.
I think for the upgrade with the ability to return when you are haunted and do it right away, I think most of the time it's going to be good. I will go ahead and give it a 3.
Z?
I have it at a 2. It's clearly a higher value if it gets pipped, but my
Yes.
system doesn't really work like that. Like SAS will see that, so I think you'll see some cooler values in a SAS type system. But for me, it's definitely a 2. No pip. If you do get an enhanced version of this, and we'll see a similar type card later in Star Alliance, if they get pipped out, it's real good. But as it is just a 2. Sad.
I
Snippy.
think I like a little better than 2. Snippy, 3 power, Spectre Robot, Skirmish. Play. Deal 2 damage to a creature. Scrap, destroy an enemy flank creature. I had
This
a
is what I'm
misplay.
talking about. This is the commons we have in Geist.
Yeah.
I
This
This is
card
the
to
nip-
destroy
this is the
Pyrazark.
nip- This is the nipple ape of Geistoid. Like,
Yeah.
How many of you have actually played this creature instead of scrapping it?
I've done both.
I had a misplay
Yeah, I've
this
done
week
both.
where
Yeah.
I wanted to scrap him and I
That's why-
accidentally played him.
Uh,
And then
I went ahead.
"Ah."
I went ahead and played him, but there was a damage pip that was on him, and there was only one creature on the other side at 3, so it was easier to do the 3 in one spot
Sure.
right there. And
But
I have a
I'm-
skirmish with a reap, so I
Just-
played him.
In general, I have, and I don't have a. I've not played a deck with more than one Snippy where I could see it kind of change him, but he's almost always a discard, and he's almost always killed by or he's pitched on a discard pip, and you're pretty
Yeah, I was about
excited
to
to
say,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, pitching them on discard pip like a type pip is awesome. Snippy is really, really cool if you have those type pips.
Yep.
But again, when I talk about like how strong the Geistoid common pool is,
Yeah.
this is the scrap effect, and this is a better effect than most destroy cards that just in the game that are actions. Like it's
Yeah, because if you remember previous sets, 3-power skirmish creatures were all you would get. And they would be like, but it's good because it's got 3-power and skirmish. And you're like, no, this card stinks. And now they added 2 more effects to it, and it's just kind of okay.
I think y'all are getting a little Keyforge bougie over there.
Oh, yeah.
Bougie.
Bougie.
Geistoid.
I
Sure,
listen. I
it's
love
fun,
Geist.
man.
Listen, if you
I
open a
love this
Geistoid
set.
deck, automatic 90 sass. Doesn't matter. It's got Geistoid in it. 90 sass.
I have a bad one in front of me right now.
It's
What's that
still
one, 80,
it's still a
89?
91 sass.
No, this is like a 70, I think is what it was, and it's
Wow.
stank.
I do have a
stank
Geistoid
70.
that is an 83, but I mean I did not play like an 83.
Okay, so Snippy is a 3.
Four.
I need to rate this.
3.
I think. Could it be 4?
It's a 4. Kills Brio.
It's
Definitely
so
a 4.
flexible.
It's bare minimum of 3.
Yeah, kills Brio. Yeah. And yeah, 4.
Man.
Well, let
We're
Ewok
supposed to-
say things.
What?
No,
Ewok?
I see how you're persuading me. I was easily going to put it at a 3, but with its scrap effect, with what it can do, I guess I got to move it to a 4. I'm going to make that argument.
Guys, I also we're supposed to be lowering Geistoid. I
know.
also had this at a 3, but every metric I have based on what we're talking about says it's a 4. I'm moving it up to a 4, and Geistoid goes back
Yay!
up.
There we go.
Soul Vial. Pip of Ember every time you play it. It's an artifact. Each friendly creature with Ember on it gains destroyed. Archive this creature. So I think this goes back to the other card we were talking about. What was it? Recollective Growth? Like, if you-
Replicative.
Replicative growth.
You're not sorry.
I'm really
You did it
not.
on purpose.
What did I call it?
I don't know.
I don't
Something
know.
crazy.
I think I said retroactive. I'm not sure. But anyways, if you have a lot of capture, I think this could be good. And most times you just play it for the pip.
This is an artifact, though, so once it's down, it's down. It doesn't matter what house the creature is.
Yep.
It has it. This actually, there are a few other destroyed effects and stuff that go around in this set where this is one of those ones where with stacked destroyed effects, this cancels other destroyed effects, potentially. Because you can choose to target this one first, and then, like, if Curiosaurus is in play, you go, oh no, I'm just going to archive him, and the Curian doesn't trigger.
Yeah, and there's
This is one of those, that part of this effect is actually interesting to think about, and whose active player actually matters.
right, like some of the other Geistoid cards that have add good destroyed effects, like Demo that we talked about before, or we'll talk about Thought Catcher soon. Like, you don't want your opponent turning those things off. But archiving the right creatures from your own side can be real good. So I feel like this is it's situationally really good, and sometimes can hurt you.
All
I
right.
don't really think this card is good, though, so I would put it at a 3.
I think 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
3 is fine. Ewok?
I'm with a 3.
Yeah.
Even leaning towards a 2.
Yeah. Z?
So I had this out of 4, but I have seen this a lot in games, especially since I've been grinding through due to SAS testing. I'm moving this to a 1. Almost everything in this house that's good doesn't want this card in play. And y'all mentioned why, but like I won the game. Actually, 2 games. I've won 2 games in the last 2 weeks because my opponent played this card. So I was able to get around a Daimo. Because in both of those games, they had a Daimo stacked with like 4 or 5 amber, and I just chose to let him archive his Daimo first. Because there's also a bunch of things that take amber off your guys anyway, and then it allows your opponent to choose not to let you draw and not to let Daimo's effect trigger. I don't like it. Every game I've had where it's in there, I also have like other creatures that want their destroyed effects to go off. Because those are 2 of the better creatures that we've talked about. Because Daimo, I already said was the King Geist, right? Like, I don't like it. I don't think it's worth a higher rank.
Yeah, I can see that argument.
Yep.
I've not
I haven't played
played
with
a ton
it,
with
so.
it, but yeah, I can see where you're going.
So Daimo does require haunted, whereas this is going to be on all the time. You don't have to be haunted or not. But I see what you're seeing, like what you're saying, and I just it doesn't wow me at all.
Yep. It's just one of those artifacts. Like I've had played against speed 2 times, and at one point, like one of them was on TCO, and he was like the opponent literally asked me what just happened, and I had to explain like the ordering that I chose to do that, because he was confused.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people won't realize if you choose archive, no other destroyed effect will trigger first.
That's fair. I guess there is cases where you do pitch this.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few Geistoid decks where you pitch this.
Yeah.
Any deck that has Daimo Eldergast and Thoughtcatcher.
This is one of those cards that, like, in a design perspective, you put it together and you're like, oh, that's kind of a cool effect. Like, archiving your creatures is good, but then how it actually interacts with the rules turns it into junk.
Well, and as I said, I had this at a 4 because we see this archiving your creatures when they die is a good thing, but like in relation to the goal of this house, it's not good at all.
It should probably be a rare. This feels like a rare type card instead of uncommon.
Without a lot of playtesting, I think that's just something you miss. Because as I said, like I rated all the cards, and for the most part, most of the cards haven't changed that much. They've gone up and down like 1 or 2. This one just went from a 4 to a 1 after a lot of testing. So I don't know. Maybe they should test one.
All right. Let's talk about Soul Tender, 1 power Spectre robot. Play / after reap. Move each ember from each Spectre creature to the common supply. Fully heal and ward each Spectre creature.
That seems good.
We talked about this guy in relation because there's also the guy who does this to robots.
Infiltrator?
Mender,
yeah.
They share the same slot. I think we already covered it, right?
Yeah, no, we didn't talk about
this one also flushes amber, though.
No, this is the better one. Because
they
are all
because there's way more specters.
And
the robot one is more likely to affect your opponent across multiple sets and things. The specters are really only in one house and one set. For meaning. Yeah, I mean, like, this is on a play effect, so this is good. Move each amber from each specter to the common supply. The guy who captures all amber is a specter, right?
So
capture all their
Trawler,
amber,
isn't it? Trawler.
Well, no, you're talking about Daimo, the guy that.
Well, I was talking about Trawler.
Trawler is not a specter.
No, Trawler.
He's an Aquan.
A fish.
Aquan.
Oh, he's over in another house. Okay.
Yeah, so it would not work.
I can't keep my purples separate.
But guys, if they have Shadow Self, it is going to ward them. Just so you know.
Yep.
Oh.
Or Shadow Id.
Shadow, yeah. Yep.
You know what? that just turned this card into a 0.
Well, no, he wards himself. So even though he's a 1 power, you still got
No, no.
to 2 damage pips to take him out.
I
don't
mean,
know.
this is generally good because there's a lot of specters in set in your house, so you're likely to have them. So you're getting a bunch of healed and warded creatures. You're potentially flushing amber, so they can't get it back. Like, this is all good. This card is, and it's on play. Like, they did not make this card bad by making it only an after reap.
That was my thing, because I was like, after reap, does it ever fire? And then I looked again, I was like, oh, it's a play effect too, so you can choose when this fires.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah,
like
it really does.
In Coda at Rare, this would have been just after reap. It would have been 1 power, right?
Yeah.
And we would have ignored it.
Every AoE card.
Yes.
After reap, 2 power, no elusive. Let's go.
Mhm.
So that kind of like Mender, it's also got that same thing going on. If you got 4 or 5 specters on board, you might just be able to just stay in house forever because you're just like, yeah, I fight your few things down, and now I reward. And
my son did that with a Minder deck, and like I even told him like the other one is actually way better than the one you have.
So this is a 5 or 6 then. 5, because it is creatures. And creatures are never 6s. Well, that's not true.
Never, but I don't think this is a 6.
I was gonna put it at a 4. I don't know if I would put it at a 5 or 6. Although it probably is. I wouldn't be shocked.
I mean, my only reason I'm hesitating on 5 is there's going to be a lot of Spectre Grim Reminder decks running around, but I mean, this
You
is
just
very
need,
good.
like-
I think 5. I'm going to go 5.
You need a 4 strays or a 5 strays in this guy, right? Then they're all reaping, capturing. This guy reaps and removes all the amber.
Mm.
Tasty.
I'll guess.
We need a Ewok.
22. I'm counting. Oh my goodness.
22.
20.
We said it's a 22.
24 specters.
Yeah, they're all specters,
25, 26. No, like I think I have to put it at a 5. Like that's ridiculous.
I actually have it as a 6 as a chase card. I think
I could see that.
y'all didn't bring it up, but it also heals all your guys too.
Doesn't it?
It heals and then wards them.
Oh yeah, fully heal and ward.
Yeah, like it's. I saw the Minder take 2 wins in a sealed event, and I think there are tons of iterations of decks where this guy can swing the whole field because you also obviously have Winds of Death in this house. So, winds of like you land them all together, right? Like this is I think a game winning type of card. Like this is chase worthy.
Okay.
Let's look at the next broken card.
Spontaneous Awakening. Pip-November every time you play. If your opponent is haunted, destroy an enemy artifact, cyborg creature, or robot creature. If you do, play that card as if it were in your hand. Attach Spontaneous Awakening to it as an upgrade with the text, this card belongs to House Geistoid.
And false off.
If it's a
it's a creature, right?
If it's
Artifact.
an artifact.
If it's an artifact.
Cyborg.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But yeah, the cyborg and robot part makes it not great often. This is generally artifact control, but it is also pretty cool in that it destroys and replays. So something like a Eaton's Jar, you get to rename a card.
Yeah.
Yep. Now the replay part is pretty
like Spontaneous Awakening, Mark of Dis, right? Like
it's
as
a
call.
super version of Borrow. It's a better.
Yeah.
It only does.
You have to be haunted, and
Your opponent.
They have to be haunted.
Sorry. They have to be haunted. Yes, that's what I meant to say. But yes, your opponent has to be haunted.
That's the only thing that trips me up about this card, because out of set, there are a lot of decks that don't haunt quickly.
Yeah.
They move at a good, brisk pace, but it's just like, early on, this card's just a Pip-November, which I guess is fine.
Offset decks will be haunted 67% of the game.
Still?
Or you could just play Boo on them and then do this, right? Like, Boo's common.
It's true.
Or the 8-power Taunter that like discards a ton of cards every time it fights.
Yeah, and then you heal and ward him
Yeah,
and move all the way over to your.
because he's the
slot.
Spectre.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a more situational borrow. It's mostly what it gets played as.
But it's stronger, I think.
Plays it.
Most of the time.
Yep.
I know it fixes that, like the whole thing where stealing Eaton's jar isn't good.
Yeah.
But I think jar is the only card that matters that you play it outside of you get
Pips, man. Pips.
which is a thing like that. That's it. So, but it's in line of it's similar to a borrow, but now that we know it's going to stay attached, it is out of cycle once you play it. Like it's gone.
Yeah,
It's essentially gone.
Yeah.
Once you play it on an artifact.
Unless it's like
Okay.
seed or whatever. All that stuff. You just sack it.
Yeah.
There's a ton of
that's
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Take
5. It's at least a 5.
Your library card.
Library card, great.
I guess
'Cause we see
borrow's
so many of
better for
those.
that. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. I got it at a 5.
All right. What do we got next? We
Wah, wah.
have
I will take your auto encoder.
the synchronizer.
But you could spontaneously awaken this, guys.
If you put this on a Nepseed, you would Omni destroy Nepseed. The spontaneous awakening would go into your discard pile, and you'd be able to immediately take it back with the Nepseed you just took.
Oh, is that how? Oh,
fucking
interesting.
weird.
Yeah, because
For
Nepseed
now,
is just.
they're
You
more-
could actually like. I don't think we've ever talked about that, but it can happen. Totally off topic. If you had an enhanced Nepseed, Nepseed is Omni, destroy Nepseed, goes in the discard pile, return a card from your discard, you return your Nepseed, and you replay it.
Is that on Polter?
Every on-chain turn that you weren't going to use it? That's
Interesting.
interesting. Anyways.
Synchronizer. It's an artifact. You get a Pip of Ember every time you play it. Each friendly clock creature gains destroyed. Move half the time counters, rounding up, from this creature to Synchronizer. Omni, move all the time counters on Synchronizer to a friendly clock creature.
All right, hold on. Sheep, don't you resolve the entire destroyed effect before you move that card to the discard pile?
Yes.
I think you did.
Nepseed is period. Destroy Nepseed.
I know it's period, but I think I agree, but I don't think it physically moves. Oh, well, then it's out of play. So actually, we just realized that Nepseed doesn't work. No, I don't know. I think the whole destroyed effect has to complete first.
Nepseed doesn't have a destroyed effect.
Right.
It's just part of what you have to do.
Okay. It's Omni.
It's not a destroyed effect like it would be on a creature.
Okay. I'm not looking at the card. Let's talk about Synchronizer.
Yeah. It works.
Do we really have time to talk about these clocks?
Nope. I have rounded my time counters all the way down, all the way to 0.
Okay. Each friendly clock gains destroyed. Move half the time counters, rounding up.
Yep. And
so you move them to the synchronizer. Omni, move all synchronizers.
And then you can move all to a clock. So basically, it allows you to keep some of the time counters to move them to another clock eventually.
Yeah. So in theory, it's a way to get the Arcane Timekeeper up to 12. But
at that point, you've already lost, so it doesn't matter.
Because you have clocks.
Because you have, you also
like
have
how.
clocks.
So you have to kill not
Arcane, but Ancestral.
Yes, you have to make sure Ancestral Timekeeper doesn't die, but your other clocks do die, so that you can Omni it onto your Ancestral Timekeeper. So you can't play a board clear unless you warded Ancestral Timekeeper, but only Ancestral Timekeeper, right? If you play the Soul Tender and ward all your clocks.
Oh my god, why are we talking about this? Clocks suck, it's a 0. Like, I'm totally on board.
Amber Pip.
I am on. Listen, I am actively right now getting Grump Life tattooed on my stomach, right above my belly button, for this card. Like, it's
Can you
a
put
0.
it on your lower back?
Absolutely. You want me to get the Grump Life tramp stamp?
Right? You said it.
I'm half tempted. I'm not gonna lie to you.
This is like a 1 to me. I don't see.
Does
the
it get
clock
1 because of the
being
Ember Pip?
meaningful. That's right.
All right, whatever. It's a 0. I'm gonna be so disappointed when this is a 1.
Does this make you get all the clocks? Do all the clocks always come together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
no,
some
only
set of them.
question is how many
TikToks you get?
TikToks and chronometers you get.
So is this a -5? Does your
Hopefully
system do
none.
that?
God, like,
This is what we call a
too good for this.
This is what we call a
moving all of
shredder
these
deck.
Fuckers to 0. All right.
Thank you for your donation.
This
It's a
is
0.
what we
It's a
call a
0.
shredder deck. If you see this card in it,
Oh.
it is immediately shredded.
At some point in time, people had convinced me to make these like 1s and 2s or whatever. No, like this house is too damn good to suffer the like
Listen, it's rare, but
plague
I could
rat
have
shit
a
show. Like
I could
that
have a
this is.
Reaver in that slot.
Andy P likes clock decks, and he might
That's
buy
fine.
it.
Andy
So sell 'em
P,
to
Yeah, I
Andy.
said if I
Hit
get a
me
clock
up.
deck, I'll sell it to him.
I'll sell you a clock deck.
I
Any
won't,
clock deck
because
we
I'm never going to
open
open one.
will
'cause I
immediately
draw
go
better.
in the store and you can buy it from us.
You're going to draw a clock deck. It's just a matter of time before you're just depressed because you open it up, you're like, ooh, Geistoid, and then you flip it over and it's got all the clocks, and you're just like, well, my life is over. Let's go to what is it a 0?
Yes.
Thank you. 1 power Tangler 1 power Spectre Robot. After reap, stun a creature and each of its neighbors. Scrap, stun a creature.
The 1 power on this is so
It hurts.
disappointing. It's a heck of a reap effect.
It is. But it dies to anything?
Yep.
I mean, pip
dies any damage.
damage
That is
pips
true.
are a real thing that exist.
What about the scrap effect?
I already said the scrap effect. Scrap effect's fine. I like the scrap effect. I mean, this used to be an action card. Actually, I think it used to be a better action card.
This is not I like this is a 2 because it's rarely ever going to make its effect known.
It never.
Yeah, I
reaps.
think this thing dies.
Never
Yeah.
reaps.
I don't think this ever gets played.
Scrap stun. I don't know.
So what you're saying is it's a 1.
I think it's a 1.
Okay. Z?
1.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, okay. It does have to stun your own board, as it's
Yeah.
getting pointed out here. If
Yeah.
you're. Yep, okay. We can make Tangler 1.
The Grim Reaper.
Reprint.
4 power spell. Fine. Moving on. What's
Get him,
Grim?
Dan.
Just tell me what Grim Reaper is then. I love Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper's fine, right? Because it's a 4. Enters play ready.
It
Purges
is a
shit.
4. Yep.
Yep. And he's on my playmat. That's why I like him. Thought Catcher. 5 power Spectre Robot. Each friendly creature with Ember on it gains destroyed. Draw a card. Draw 1 card.
And this is exactly where archiving the creature stinks, because they prevent you from
Right.
drawing and go, nah, you just archive it. It does come with double enhanced captures.
I still think this guy's. I mean, I like him. He's at least a 4.
Uncommon.
I've thought he's okay. I think he's a 3.
Going with 4. Draz?
The Grim Reaper.
No,
3.
Thought Catcher.
I'm sorry. The work is picking me, which is lovely.
That's fine.
Thought Catcher.
Spit it on number 0 through 6.
Here, I'll give you a team. I think that it's at a 4. It was with the 2 capture pips, with the 5 power, and with the destroyed effect that's there. So I'm giving it a 4.
Yeah, 4. I'll go 4.
I had this at a 5, but I think I'm moving it down to 4. I agree that I had it up there because I thought the draw plus the enhancements would be there, but again, I have played a lot of Grim Reminders lately, and I think 4 is more appropriate. So I agree with you.
I would like to play more Grim
Reminders
Reminders because I am actually really I like the set. Is it weird that I
It's-
like the
it's-
set more than WoW?
It's very fun to play.
Yeah.
I
Well-
enjoy the decisions that the tight pips cause.
What do you mean? Whatever house you don't want to play, you just discard those.
It's
Dis-
more
dis-
nuanced than that in most
decisions.
decks.
Boys, we did not go ahead and give the big shout out. It is live on TCO. I'm sure
It is,
that-
yes.
Yep,
All
they
the
did
layers,
good work.
but I mean,
I haven't seen any bugs from
that
what
would be-
I've played.
Yeah, that would be really big news that we should have started with. Whoops.
Oops.
Sorry, guys, but honestly, thanks for getting that up and going for everyone.
Thank-
Yeah, I've
TikTok.
probably played 50 games worth.
And can I go ahead and say that the
TikTok.
amount of games has actually increased significantly since it showed up?
Nice.
Yeah, that happens
it
every
went
time a
from-
new set
It
hits.
went from 4 to like
Mhm.
26.
Yeah.
But that's really nice.
This,
TikTok.
this card is not called TikTok. It's called Kesha.
What?
Yeah,
my
I didn't
goodness,
think
no.
that joke
Yeah,
would
man,
land.
that's insane.
Who is that?
She's a pop singer. She has a song actually called TikTok.
Okay.
It's
Isn't
horrible.
there- I thought there was some other dude who always just wears the clock on his chest.
That's Flavor Flav.
Okay, better joke.
Yeah, either way, they all suck. Including this card. What do these three things have in common? TikTok, 2 power, 1 armor, Spectre, clock. At the end of your turn, put a time counter on each friendly clock creature. If there are 3 or more time counters on TikTok, destroy TikTok. If you do, archive up to 3 cards from your hand and discard pile.
All right, so I want to be clear. When you play 3 of, like, say the board is empty and you play 3 of them,
Mm-hmm.
only one of these cards will archive. Lots of people are not playing it that way, because it does seem like that is not what would happen. Because it does look like at the end of that turn they will all have 3 counters and then they will all destroy an archive, but that is not actually what happens because it's not a conditional floating trigger.
Yeah, they needed to put a little bit of space in between the adding things and if there are 3 or more. Right?
Yeah,
If they-
like
what?
if they had if they did a line break after the period, it would be a completely different scenario, and these actually would be pretty good.
they would be
but-
pretty good then. That's not what they did.
That is not what they did. That is not what they do. If you play to an empty board, no clocks in play other than these, you will archive the third one that executes its conditional statement. And only even though the other 2 clocks will have 3 counters on them, their condition to destroy themselves has passed, and they will not. They will simply have 3 counters on them, and they will not trigger until your next turn.
What? Explain that again? That doesn't
Okay,
make
so
sense.
you have
No.
3 TikToks on the board.
Correct.
You do TikTok A. What does it say?
If there are 3 or more time counters on TikTok, destroy TikTok.
No. At the end of your turn,
Oh, put a
you
time
put a counter on each. So
friendly
now
crop.
all 3 TikToks have 1.
One.
Does he have 3? No. His end of turn effect is over. Clock number 2 triggers. Now all 3 TikToks have 2 on it. He goes, I don't have 3, so I'm done for the turn. Clock
Oh.
number 3 triggers.
Yep.
He puts, now they all have 3 counters. He goes, I have 3 counters. I die. And the other
And
2
I
guys
get to
went,
archive stuff.
they already did their end of turn triggers, so they're done. They don't get to go, oh, it's my end of turn again now that I have 3.
Oh,
right?
so
'Cause
they don't. So it doesn't realize it's not
Doesn't-
when it
Mhm.
has
It
3
is-
or more
yeah,
counters.
It is not a
just-
floating conditional statement. Just like Curse of Cowardice isn't floating like that. They will always lose those 2 amber. These will only trigger if you do the token, the counters, and they have 3 at that moment in time. Hence, they are not good.
they're not great.
All right,
that
touchstone.
Oh, they're
Oh,
a 0, by the way.
Yeah, what were we going to vote? Yep.
Yeah, we already talked about. We've talked a lot about clocks.
Yep. We're good. Touchdown.
Touchstone, 4 power Spectre. After if you are haunted, draw 2 cards. Otherwise, discard 2 cards from your discard the top 2 cards of your deck.
Does it always say top?
I don't know.
No.
So this is just a weird thing where this time they're like, oh, it's got to be from the top of your deck. Where
So you're telling me all those other times I got to discard cards from my deck I could pick from anywhere?
well,
Take out
I'm
the
looking,
middle.
most of them say discard the top card. Yeah, it does look like they mostly.
I'm gonna now weirdly pay more attention to that because you brought it up. But yeah.
Well, I guess the draw doesn't specify, but discard does.
Well, because
I
when you
mean-
draw, you always draw from the
Oh,
top of
yeah,
your
that-
deck.
The standard understanding for draw was top.
Yes.
But
I
it's
think-
not specified.
Well, draw has a specific rules in the rule book.
Correct.
It does.
Discarding has a specific set of rules for your hand, not for your deck.
Okay. Anyways, overall, Touchstone, I like it. I think it's a 3-ish.
I mean, so I think this is one of those where if you just have one, drawing 2 cards, I mean, it's decently good. But if you've got 3 of them on board, you're drawing 6 cards, that's way better.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I-
well, I mean, it is.
Just
but,
having one doesn't really excite me that much. But
but it
but a bunch
also
could be good.
does help you get haunted
yeah,
if you're not already haunted.
Yeah, so when you have 3 of them, it's the first one discards 2, the second one draws 2, and then you're off to the
Mhm.
races again. So
Yep.
this is definitely a card that's going to scale with having more touchdowns.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is a common, so that the possibilities are
So-
endless.
2, 3, 4.
yeah, something like that.
I think
Yeah.
it's a 3-4. Your reap is you got a solid body at 4. You're reaping, and you gain extra 2 cards if you're haunted. Otherwise, you're discarding 2.
Still got to live to then.
I'm placing it at a 3, scaling 3-4.
I have it at 3, and I left it at 3 because this is literally the Geistoid's version of Niflhape. This is the worst common they have.
Wait a minute.
No,
Every common we talked about.
No, we
You said
talked
Reaver
about-
was the worst common they have. and
No,
then
he
you
didn't.
said-
No, Reaper's
I didn't.
great.
Oh.
Like,
What was
it's
the other one
basically
before this?
tied with Scrappy or whatever that card, Snippy. Like,
Snippy?
Snippy and Touchstone have this 3 slot. Like, that's how good the commons are in Geistoid when you're talking about these 2 cards are your bottom, whereas, like, other sets have Dexter, Bad Penny, actual Niflhape. Like,
Niflhape
that's the
actual.
comparison, guys. Like,
Knuckles Bolton.
Oh
Yeah.
my. What was the other one that gave? Wait, was Knuckles? He was a what? Elusive and Skirmish?
Yeah.
What was the one that gave everybody? Was it Skirmish? Gave each of their neighbors Skirmish? It was another. It was another terrible AOE
neighbors?
card that we don't need to go back.
Well,
to.
there was the Panpakas.
No,
what you're thinking
it was a Shadows card.
You mean the one that gave them elusive?
Oh, was it Elusive? It might have given each of its neighbors Elusive.
Oh yeah, Lamidra.
3
yeah.
power Lamidra.
yeah.
Thank you.
I've got her
You
her
can
sweet
get
playmat over the
multiples.
corner there. Thank goodness
3
I've got my-
Lamidra decks.
Yeah.
Oh, so much power.
Can I have multiple? Like, I feel like I should put multiple elusive counters on them.
Okay, so Touchstone is a 3. You don't actually have it scaling for having lots of them?
no, because, I mean, I would if the opportunity... Like, remember, this is the bottom of your commons. So, like, if you want more of them, you're replacing better cards almost always.
That's fair.
Lamidra, boys, is deploy elusive.
It would scale in any other house.
Neighbors gain elusive, but 1 power. So definitely not 3.
It was
I
bad
didn't
either
say
way.
It was 3 power.
It
did we?
is
I
bad.
said it was 3 power. I
Yeah.
did.
Oh.
I got Lamidra
Yeah.
and Knuckles Bolton.
But the point is, there are so many bad commons in every other house in this game.
Yes.
It's-
That I
Yes.
agree with.
We've named multiple just during
All
this
right, come
episode.
on. We can get this done and go to bed.
Oh my god, Tribute Collector, Grump Life for Life. Tribute Collector, 4 power, 2 armor, Spectre Robot with Taunt. Play / after fight, a friendly creature captures 1.
Solid taunter, little bit of ember control. 3.
What crappy Sanctum creature is this just better than in every way? There was one that
Raiding
was
Knight.
Raiding
yeah.
Knight.
Rating Knight.
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
This
like,
one
it is
odds,
way better than that one.
Yeah.
plays
this is a
after
full-
fights, doesn't have to even capture on itself.
Yep.
Here's another kick to the Sanctum. I guess Raiding Knight was common.
Oh no.
That's
This
still better
card's
than
fine. So he's
almost all their
a
taunters,
3.
too.
4.
Yeah, I have it.
3, yeah. Yeah, clearly,
Could be
it's at
4,
3.
but I like it at 3.
All right.
Well, someone
think
wants to go
I
to
think it's-
bed, so
Yeah, he really wants to go to bed. He's grumpy. Somebody's gonna have to give Sheep his Bubba
I
Put 'em-
got an early day tomorrow.
and put him down. Varad the Indulgent. 4 power Spectre robot, Varad the Indulgent gets +1 power for each ember on it. After another friendly Geistoid creature fights, Varad the Indulgent captures one.
We had this card before too. He just scales in power.
He does
Also from Sanctum. So again, they took a Sanctum card.
made it better and put it in a
Made it
different
better.
house.
Yeah.
I like Varad, but I don't think he's higher than a 3.
I actually don't like Varad. He has never done anything me. He's just a pointless body that doesn't do anything.
He reaps
me.
for 1.
He's like a 2. Does he have rarity link too?
No.
he comes with tribute collectors.
Does
Yep.
he?
Oh,
Yep.
I did not know
Interesting.
that.
You can get the tribute collector without Varad, but just like Mischievous, if you pull Varad,
he
he will come
absolutely
with
comes
these
with
guys.
tribute collectors.
Yeah.
I don't have this guy yet.
That's what I meant by like this house has the most like it has 4 linked cards. This is the 4th one.
Which
Okay.
one was
He's
tribute? I'm trying to remember what
fine.
tribute collector did. Is that
Tribute
the one?
ones-
is just what it's
we
the one we
literally
just
just
went
talked
through.
about.
4-2 taunter.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
tribute collector at a 3. If
What was
he
the other one? Oh, Elvis
wasn't
Day.
linked to Varad, I probably would have had him at a 4. Because you don't want like Varad in 3 of these things. You just don't. Rod, however, I since we're the time thing, I have him at a 2, mainly because he does end up with these guys. You end up with like 3 or 4 of these cards makes up your house, and that's not what you want from Geistoid in this set. So
If you can get like a Varad Kaspara deck and have nothing but crummy
Yeah.
creatures.
the worst
clocks.
Geistoid houses in this game are almost all because of these 4 linked set cards. Like, I know they're fun and they're catchy, but for fuck's sake, stop putting them in the same house. Like, this was real bad.
Something had to make bad GR decks.
yeah, that is your,
Otherwise, Wookiee would be able to open good ones, and he wouldn't know what to do with his life.
that
I
is your
have-
Shudder scenario. Pretty
I
much
have
get any
2
linked
decent
card in Geistoid.
ones. I'm actually quite happy with my 2 decent ones. They're not
I'd be
vault-
happy with
they're-
Veil of Ectoplasm.
I have 1 ectoplasm deck that I like it. But Veil of Ectoplasm. Play for each Geistoid card in your discard pile. A friendly creature captures 1 ember. 3.
I have often played this for a capture of 4 to 5. It's
Yeah,
been pretty good amber control.
Mhm.
Don't want lots of them, but having 1 is fine.
and you
Yeah.
can spread it around, and then you can hit your either your replicative growth or your
Put it on your
Uh,
sweet Mamet with its
strong
discard
feeling.
cup.
Use your Dymos.
Generally want the Amber Pip discard 5 cards, 1 more. It's not as big an amber control, but it's just generally,
That one helps you haunt too.
yeah, it just moves your game state a little more. But this card
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
card's okay.
Yeah, I think
Cards are
sometimes it's real
3.
good. Sometimes it's only
3,
okay.
3, 2,
Yeah,
3.
3 seems okay
3.
to me.
3.
I have it 3, and then I have it scaling down.
Okay.
'Cause
Webster.
if you get a second one, you have less creatures already. It's probably
He is
Oh
a-
yeah.
8 power Spectre location. Taunt after fight. For each damage on Webster, you may discard the top card of each player's deck.
Like I say, it feels silly that this thing is a Spectre location and like what it is, but then I have multiples of them. I just don't feel like I should have multiple robotic dinosaur locations. It seems weird. It seems like that would be a unique experience.
not in Grim Reminder.
Don't we
It's a
have
common experience.
Now, the flavor text is kind of funny. That's not a building.
3?
I mean, 8 power taunt with a useful
Right effect?
side effect that you
Cement-
can choose not to use if you don't want. It's a May, right?
Yeah.
So I give it a 4.
Yeah, this is when we joke about power creep stuff. Like this is a card where you're just like, there was nothing like this in old sets. Like taunt was
This
on
kills champion and
commons
Nafiel
and-
in one hit. Like,
Yeah.
just
just
and says I'll do another one next turn.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like makes you haunted.
yeah.
Like this is this. I don't get that part of that where they're just like, used to be 8 power creatures would come with a downside. Now they're like, let's give it taunt and a good ability and make it a common. I'm just like, what? I
I think it's great. This is
It
beautiful.
is good card. It's good. I want one of them.
I
One or
want
of
one
them.
or
One.
one.
I was trying to convince myself I want 2 Websters, but I want one.
many options. One or one.
Yeah, uncommon would have been a better space for this.
Yes.
What are your numbers?
3.
I said 3.
2,
4.
4.
I have it at 3. I could see the argument for 4. I'm gonna leave this one at 3 for now, but literally today, I did kill a 6 power creature, chose to discard 6 cards, checked what he got. Most of his stuff, I assume it was he, but most of his stuff, I think he only discarded 2 creatures, and I had 6 creatures. And I Winds of Death immediately. It was amazing. And that
Nice.
proceeded to key abduction the next turn. Webster is very fun.
Gross.
But I think
Well of
3
memory.
is a good, healthy spot.
It is an artifact. Play, purge any number of cards from your hand. For each card you purge this way, return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Action, destroy Well of Memory. Which, fun fact,
I mean-
the art has the battle between the Opal and Onyx Knight.
So it says get rid of some cards you're not excited about and get any cards you want.
Get good cards back.
Yeah.
Some of which might have been
that's
discarded from the bottom of your deck. Not by your choosing, but they might have
Yeah.
just done that.
This wrecked me, man. This wrecked me 2 weeks ago.
I've seen
Now,
some weird things done with this. Like, I've seen somebody Winds of Death or Boo Boo Winds of Death, and then they played this, and then they purged a bunch. Like, they basically purged a house.
Uh,
And I was like, I don't understand what just happened.
yeah.
And then I got my ass kicked. At which
you
the
can-
end of the game, I fully understood what just happened.
Yeah, and then you can action it to destroy it so that then you can
You can do it again.
concede it or target it and do it again. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
It is kind of only good, or I mean, primarily good for getting Geistoid cards back, but since they're all good, that seems fine.
I mean, you take the correct single card to another house sometimes, right? Like, yes, you mainly want Geistoid, but Geistoid's also the best.
Yeah.
Guess what can also target it? Poltergeistoid. I can just do this again.
Oh yeah, from your
I mean,
Yeah.
it's, we're
Yeah.
talking rare scenario, but it's possible. I like this card. I'm partial to it because of what it did a couple weeks ago. 14.
14. It's at least a 5. Does it go 6? think it might.
Should it be?
I don't know.
Dude, this
5?
card
Oh.
is super dumb. It is
I
literally recursion for dead cards in my
really
hand.
did. My butt is still a little sore from that game. Like, it was
I
real
mean,
weird.
Oh, this is the issue. All artifacts typically are slow, but look here, play.
This
got a
is not.
play
Yeah,
effect.
this
It's
does
not
the one
slow.
thing on
Yes.
play. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what you care about. I think this is high. I placed it at a 5 though.
Did you want to get rid of your entire house to go grab all those ember producing cards that happen to be in a different house, or like just grab your grab all your cool Geistoid stuff back?
Now, again, I think that Geistoid does go ahead and get haunted pretty quickly. This plays very, very well late game. But if you're seeing this early, this is not necessarily the card I want to be seeing in my opening hand. And so that's why I placed it at a 5 versus straight 6.
Well, if you see it in your opening hand, I think you just mully.
fine. And then it comes back in my mulligan. You're not happy with it at that
You get
point.
the TCO mulligan.
You
I
still
don't know if that's right.
purge a bunch
JR?
of shitty cards from your deck.
Like if I'm on the play, I have 7 cards in hand. One of them's Well of Memory. You play it, you purge the worst cards in your hand, which then you draw back, and then on your first guy's turn, you just destroy it. So it's back in your cycle.
Seems pretty good.
It's good.
Or you
I
play
see.
Boo and you take what you want from it, right? Like,
I don't know why we're playing this card at all, because we're all going to have Isle of Misfit Toys and just...
Or both of them.
Sure.
I have this at a 5 currently. Do we think this is actually like?
I think it's fine at 5. I think it's
the use
perfectly fine
cases
at 5.
are pretty high.
I'm
I'll
talking
leave it at a
myself,
5.
talking myself
It
up.
could.
Hey,
Could be
let's
a
get
6.
to the one card that does deserve a 15.
Yes, Winds of Death.
0.
0.
Million.
I've opened 0 Winds of Death decks.
I have as well, but this is pretty sweet.
Winds of
Oh, really?
Death. Action. Play each player archives each creature from their discard pile and destroy, or I'm sorry, not and, but period. Destroy each creature.
Wow.
Common.
Death is only the beginning.
Wow.
This, when it is timed right, is just game destroying.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
truly
God.
don't know whether I've won more games because of Ecto Charge or Winds of Death. It is real close.
Those are the 2 best ones, right?
So when
Well,
he
and you
said
probably have
0,
both in your deck anyway, so...
when he said 0, he meant that was at the end of the 15. It was 150 is what he really meant to say. That's where he's trying to get there.
They're both at common. Now, Ecto's limited to 1, but it's good.
Do you think you actually want lots of Winds of Death, do you?
That's what I was going to say. Do you want to see multiples of them?
Yes.
I mean, it means you get to do it more often.
Kind of.
I'm with you there, Wookie. Kind of is where I'm at. But again, I have not pulled it. I've not
So-
played. I need to see it more.
Zach has a deck that only had 1, but in his 1 deck, he had 2 in here somewhere, and Mamet, and I think Echo Fly. I watched this fool go into Geistoid 5 turns in a row, and he played Winds of Death every turn. It was the most hilarious game I'd ever seen in a sealed play at my local, and I was just like, he was playing against a WoW deck because we played mixed sealed. So like his opponent was literally generating like 8 to 12 creature boards every turn, and he wiped them every turn. It was really funny.
I really like. I mean, I think after 2, it gets a little.
After
goes
2, I
down.
think you're in excess land, but I think either having lots of ways to replay 1 or having 2, there is significant value in there.
Yep. Yeah, this is 6. This is so good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, this is we are
Like,
talking
so
about this.
put all the stuff in your archives, do all sorts of things with it, like key
And then it
abduct,
lets-
or
and then it
just
lets-
have a million cards that are,
Well,
useful.
Oh, you just said key abduct. Like this literally auto fires 2 different key cheats in this game. It auto fires key abduction. It auto fires might makes right. It's bonkers good.
Is this-
It also lets
Is
you
this actually...
make
Sorry,
the
go
big.
ahead.
It also lets you big brain the play of memorialize the fallen, letting your opponent think they're going to take their archives, play a bunch of characters. Well, then you can. Well, no, you can't do that. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I'm dumb. I had a Christmas Land idea in my head and it doesn't work.
Is this card good against Exhume decks? Because it makes it so they don't have Exhume targets. And then they got to take
I
their
could think of
big,
one
messy
really
archives.
good deck that relies on exhuming and recursion while she archives all of a certain house. If you shove all of her recurs creatures into
Oh,
her
God.
archive, that deck is dead.
Well, yeah, what this does to Boots.
Yeah. And Jacques, like this.
Yeah, this is pretty good against Eddie Exhume stuff, right?
Yeah, like people that are crafting their archive that they don't want to pull it, which there are several decks that do that. Yeah, like there you go. If you want your good cards back, you're gonna have to yank out the stuff you don't want to. Yeah, this is just, it's just real good.
So 17 for this one.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
There is a chance there are times when this is a bad card to play.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are definitely old school
That's-
Coda,
yeah.
Chota decks where you're like, nope, not giving you that back.
Well, any board wipe is
Dysania,
sometimes
like
you
to
don't
give
play
him
it, yeah.
huge burst.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you need your plow sword to put that one on the bottom and then
Yeah.
play Winds of Death.
Mhm.
No, Plus Swords is a 6, but only when played against Dysania
Or,
with a win.
Join us
Right.
next week and subscribe to our Patreon for floating Z scores, where you can actually pit it against another deck and it'll just fluctuate.
no.
No?
No.
No. No.
Fair
This
enough.
is fake news.
Fair enough. I'm fine
Just like
with that.
Voltors.
All right. Oh, God.
Oh.
GGOP.
Jeremy comes in for like just the beginning to see how bad we're going to trash him and then splits.
You mean
Not
Josh?
Jeremy.
I'm sorry, Josh. I didn't mean Jeremy.
No. He probably gets bored.
That's because after about 20 minutes, he just starts drinking. Jeremy, I think Jeremy's getting tucked in by the time we.
Oh.
recording.
Josh
Oh.
probably has to drink something just to show up to listen for the first few minutes.
Yeah,
Malort.
major props, Josh, for
Malort.
listening to us fools.
That is what he is drinking. He is drinking Malort.
There you go.
No,
Punishing himself.
just punishing himself.
I've been a bad boy.
I've been a
Yeah,
bad
puts
boy.
hair on your elbows.
Yeah, it puts hair everywhere. On your back, on your nipples.
Already got it. It's okay.
All right. Well, we have made it through all of Geistoid. It was a long,
amazing.
grueling 2 episodes. What we've learned is if you want a 90 SAS deck, just open a Geistoid deck. It's a good chance it's not in the 90s.
Unless you get clocks.
Unless you got clocks, then just throw that one in the dumpster
Unless
and
you
try
got
again.
creatures, then it's kind of.
Just throw them in the trash. Try again. $15 a crack. Who cares?
I mean, actually, there are 5. We forgot Persephone. Like, in Geistoid, there's Caspara, Mischievous, Clocks,
Shady. I thought you were counting Shady
the
with
one
Persephone.
with a V, and Shadis. There's 5 linked cards in this freaking house. Ugh.
And
Yeah.
every one of them links to something crappy.
Yeah.
So as long as you don't have linked, you're in pretty good
Where's-
shape.
Where's the card that links to Mehmet? None of those in
And
here?
that is not a linked
No, I don't think
That's a damn shame. It should be.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't any of those, like, Mischievous been linked to Mehmet?
That
Give me 5 Mehmets.
does. I mean, I'll take it, but does that make up for Mischievous?
But she's not
Yeah,
terrible.
probably.
My
Yeah.
rating is only rated her so bad because she's linked to those other freaking playmates.
Yeah.
Or
fair.
Fragments? Whatever, one of the two.
Yeah.
Fragments
She's
come with Caspara.
fragments come
Because
with
I'm looking
Caspara.
at a
It's the
dumpster deck.
playmates then.
The playmates come with Mischief. No, I thought no. Now I'm confused.
All right.
It's
Well,
the-
we've scored them.
Just
and
don't
we're gonna
get
do another
anything with
house
the
next
linked.
week?
Yeah, just don't get anything with the linked rarity symbol on the bottom, and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
next
if they
week,
don't have any
Mars.
of those, you're playing with fire most of the time.
Next week is Mars. Not
Are we
my
gonna-
favorite house, mainly because I just haven't opened anything good in Mars. But
Did we talk about Immortal Grecking? Way
no,
at the end?
do you want to?
He's the one who's got the Geistoid emblem.
Yeah, so Immortal
Not really.
Grecking,
Why?
7 power Spectre. Play. Take control of an enemy creature and place it anywhere in your battle line. Until Immortal Grecking leaves play, that creature belongs to Immortal Grecking's house. So obviously, he can pop into anywhere, and then obviously the destroyed ability, if you're haunted, archive him.
So this is a pretty strong one because you take it and it's in your battle line and it's ready.
And it's
And it's
Geistoid.
whatever house.
Right.
Wow,
Well,
whatever
it's
house.
his
whatever
regular
house
house.
it's in.
Yeah. So it's
This
in the
is one of
house you're
those-
probably already in.
This is one of the stronger ones. It's a pretty good card.
are we gonna rate it? Because it's probably what, a 4? Does it reach 5 land?
He's huge. He could be
Yes.
a 5.
5.
Could be a 5.
Yeah.
I mean, it kills Bryo, so it's
take your
definitely a
best
3.
opponent's best creature.
It's got a
He
good
doesn't-
ability.
He doesn't kill Bryo. He
Yeah.
takes Bryo's
Oh,
out.
that's true.
Now you are Biozark.
Now you are Bryo. Man, it just gets better.
And you get to reap because
42.
it is ready and the house.
Sunday has one of these, and he has ways to recur it, and he makes hella good
It
use of it.
recurs itself.
Well, but there are other ways to recur it. Like,
Okay.
and whatever
Sure.
he's doing. It's
So it's
We're
a 6.
good.
I think his is in a house where he can bounce it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So it's in Untamed?
Might be fish. But-
Fish? Not a big fan of the fish in this set, but what does Grekin get? So we can get out of here and everybody can close their eyes.
I'm actually moving up from 5 to a 6. Like I didn't process when I initially scored him that the creature he's taking obviously has to come in ready. Because I didn't actually account that he's giving E there too. Because no matter what, you can reap there. I did not have that factored in. With that additional factor, thanks Sheep, he's moving up to 6. Like taking a creature, reaping with said creature, and there are ways to recur this effect. That's massive.
It
Like
real
that's
good.
better than Hypno Beam and Subjugation Color immediately.
It does get weird when you kill this or bounce this, because
And they're
then
no
that
longer
creature.
the house.
But when they replay Immortal Grekin, they don't get the effect back. Right? They stay back in their
True.
original house.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those wonky game state tracking.
But there's still a lot of static effects out there these days. That
Oh yeah, still good. It's
no.
just a wonky game state tracking thing.
He's great. He is. I have him tied with one other for the 6th score for Revenants. We
You know
will
what
get
else
to
is
that
great?
one in the future.
You know what else is great, guys?
Sleep.
Sleep. So with that being said, we'll see y'all next week.
Happy 4th, everyone.
May the Forge be with you. Thanks, TCO. We appreciate you guys.